Hello everyone, welcome to ED Markets IPO Talk, where we talk about all the latest IPOs in town and more. I'm Neha Vashisht Mahajan, and in today's episode, we will talk about the Blue Jet Healthcare IPO that opened on October 25th and will close for subscription on October 27th. And to discuss that, I have Astha Jain with me, Senior Research Analyst at Hem Securities. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Markets Livestream, Astha. So, 50-year-old legacy business Blue Jet Healthcare is coming up with an 840.27 crore rupees of issue. So, what is the company all about? Can we discuss a little bit about the business model as well?
Sure. So basically, if I talk about Blue Jet Healthcare, so this company is a specialty pharmaceutical and healthcare basically company in which they provide specialty pharmaceutical ingredients and intermediates, and that to whom? To the innovator company, basically who are global generic pharma companies or multinational companies. So they provide these active ingredients or intermediates to these companies. So now what
Okay.
exactly this business model is? So they are basically into the contract development and manufacturing organization. They are basically a CDMO, and
Hmm.
being a CDMO, I mean their task is just they have the specialty chemistry capabilities in the contrast media intermediates as well as high-end sweeteners. Now, what is this
Okay.
contrast media intermediate? So, if you know, when we go for X-rays or MRI or CT scans, so these contrast media intermediates are basically they are chemical agents which are used in order to enhance the visibility of the body tissues. So these I mean
Okay.
these are those chemicals, and this company is preparing these contrast media intermediate for the global pharmaceutical and multinational generic companies. And now, in the
Right.
contrast media intermediate, there are only four companies in the world who carry 70% of the total market. So, out of these four companies, Blue Jet Infra is providing contrast media intermediate to three companies. So now you can imagine what kind of business model this company is having, and this contrast media intermediate is consisting basically 70% of their revenue, because the other part of the revenue is coming from the high end sweeteners, high intensity sweeteners, as well as APIs or active pharma ingredients. So remaining
Okay.
30% is coming from those products.
All right. And if we talk about the price band for this IPO, it's about 329 and 346 per equity share. So do you think it is fairly priced? And if we talk about the offer also, the offer is completely OFS. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so if I talk about the price band, definitely the price band is which we are seeing right now is around 329 to 346. Now, the main thing is coming the PE ratio, and if I calculate the PE ratio on the post-issue equity capital, and that too on the Q1 PAT, because they have provided the financials of quarter one of FY24 also, along with the last 3 year financials in the RHP. So now whatever they have posted in the quarter one of FY24, so if I analyze that fact and I take the post issue equity, then the P multiple is coming at around 34. Now, because this is the company which has no listed peer in the space, so whether to say it is a cheap or a expensive is little tricky, because they don't have any direct competitors, and the kind of product which this company is providing, they are high entry barriers to this, because they offer niche products to the innovator pharmaceutical companies as well as multi-generic company. So I think the issue is fairly priced, because it is coming
Okay.
at around 34 PE multiple.
All right. And what about the sector in general? What can we expect from the sector in the next 3 to 4 years?
So if I talk about the contrast media intermediate, which is consisting the major part of the revenue of this company, so this is around $5.9 billion market as of now, and we are expecting this market to grow at a CAGR of 6 to 8% over calendar year 2023 to 2025. So this market is very huge. In fact, if I talk about high intensity sweeteners. So what are these high
Hmm.
intensity sweeteners? These are basically sweeteners which are used in the mouthwashes, toothpaste, even confectionaries. So all the FMCG companies like Colgate, etc., they also use. I mean, so the market is big, and the company is also doing capex because they are getting strong demand and they are offering niche products. So definitely the demand is also high. So this market is a big market.
So, what about the company's financials?
So if I talk about the financials, so we have seen the strong CAGR of 20% from FY21 to 23. In the last 2 years, the CAGR in the top line was 20%, while in the bottom line it was in the single digit, as well as on the operating profit also it was in single digit. But what is attractive about this company is their margins, because margins are somewhat at around 32 to 33%. This is, I'm talking about Q1 of FY24. So, and EBITDA
Hmm.
margin I'm talking about. In fact, this is a
Okay.
debt-free company. They have a zero debt on their balance sheet, and their ROEs are also very high. So, I mean, the ratios are looking very strong, financials are looking very strong. And one thing is also there, because last year was not good for chemical companies. We have seen a strong price rise in the chemical space, and that's why we have seen some sort of volatility in their financials.
Hmm. All right. And if we talk about the golden question, should investors bid for this IPO or not?
So basically, first of all, we are recommending subscribe on this IPO. So we are recommending Blue Jet Healthcare IPO a subscribe from the listing gain as well as long-term perspective. But from the
Okay.
listing gain perspective, we are not expecting a strong rise because the markets are very volatile. First of all, secondly, geopolitical tension. If it get deepens further, then definitely
Hmm.
that can create some sort of issues on the listing gain also. So one really need to be careful about that. And third is about the chemical prices, because which we have seen in the past also, that in case if the chemical prices rise, then what happens, these companies are not able to pass these prices immediately to their customers. It will take some time lag to pass on the prices, and due to
Okay.
that we can see some sort of volatility in the financials also. So all in all, but still the company is into the niche space, so we are liking that, we are liking the business model. This company is quite a old company, and I mean
Hmm.
the kind of products which they are providing to the 3 out of 4 companies all over the world which are into this space. So I think the demand
Okay.
will be very high. So all in all, a subscribe is given to this issue, but not a strong rise can be expected on the listing. Maybe a small gain will be there, but a strong gain can also be there, provided if the markets will be in the good shape. So there one should be nearly need to be very careful, but still a person can subscribe to this issue for small listing gain purpose.
Can you also tell the audience about the allotment and listing dates for this IPO?
Sure. So I think the listing date will be November 6th, while the allotment date or the date on which the shares will be credited to the Demat account will be 3rd November. So 3rd
Okay.
November will be the date when the shares will get credited to the Demat account, while the listing will be on the 6th of November.
Thank you, everyone.